Take 37. Okay, guys, welcome to the Season 1, Episode 4 of the Baking It Down podcast with Sugar Cookie Marketing. Goodness, that is a long name. But this week we promised Linda we would speak slowly and pronounce our words. Are you in, Corrie?
I am in.
Great. That was very well pronounced. I'm impressed with us right out the gate. So this is Heather. I'm twin one, and I've spent about 10 years, if not longer now. Time flies when you're having fun in digital marketing. My twin sister, Corrie, I'll let her introduce herself.
I am Corrie. I am twin number 2, also known as the dupe, also known as your favorite. And I'm Heather's
duplicate. There you go. So what did we talk about last week on podcast episode 3?
We covered boundaries and pricing psychology as it relates to hair straighteners. It's not super cookie apple. Oh, why is that word so hard? Can you say it for me?
I'm leaving it.
Say it
I'm
for
leaving
me.
Applicable.
Applicable. Guys, this is why we're on Take 37 is this word right here. But you have to give it a listen to understand how hair straighteners and cookies are actually the same thing.
Yeah, it's going to definitely need a listen. Okay, tell people here who are coming from Spotify or Apple Podcasts and may not know what this group is that we're talking about.
Okay, so we actually are from Sugar Cookie Marketing Group on Facebook. It's about 50,000.
Wow, goals, guys, set them.
It's 15,000 bakers extraordinaire, and we talk about all things marketing, business, customers,
definitely include packaging.
Some people hate it, some people love it. But if you're joining us and you're coming from a podcast, you can absolutely join us over at Sugar Cookie Marketing Group on Facebook.
I know we made a really cute URL to direct people right to the group. What is it again?
I'm not going to say www at this time, but
it's a test.
Sugar Cookie Marketing
Group.com. Wow, that was so unconfident.
Because I didn't know.
Okay, well, that brings us to our next segment, guys. The marketing minute. So I know we typically said this was 10 minutes. We're going to make this 5 minutes. And Corrie wanted to cover in the business of baking. She wanted that one to be 10 minutes. So for the marketing minute, I wanted to ask Corrie, if I only bought 5 photography related items that you think I should get out of the gate to get started in marketing my baking product, what would they be and why?
Rita put me on the spot there, but good thing I already know the answers. If I could only choose 5 things, and it couldn't be 5 beads, toughy, but a good question. Here's what I'd recommend and why I'd recommend them. I'd recommend a good backdrop. The reason being, most of our houses don't have enough width or height to get a good photo. A good backdrop can transform maybe a dark home, where you have dark countertops, into that photography oasis that we like to see, that bright photography when it comes to food.
Right. A backdrop essentially is a kitchen remodel in a square. So you have dark tile, you have dark countertops, get these backdrops, and suddenly you have a white kitchen and everything is beautiful and clean and fluffy and built in 2021.
Amen. And I take all of my photos when it comes to food and product photography on a backdrop.
Are any of the photos you've posted in the group taken without a backdrop?
No.
Right. So 100% of them are taken with a backdrop. That's how much you believe in this backdrop stuff.
Absolutely. It's taken my photography game to the next level, so I highly recommend it to anyone who asks that question, which right now is only you. So
I'm here to help, man.
Props, you don't have to go crazy on props. I know Heather knows I'm crazy with props, but there's just some prop essentials, and we've talked about it and discussed it in the group at length, that can really set your photography on fire. So I would highly recommend just...
What would be those? If I could say, if you could come up with 3 off the top of your head that everyone should have in their fridge.
Textured tea towel, wooden cutting board.
Baking rack. I like those.
Heather is obsessed with the baking rack, but I was going to go a little floral sprig.
She was going to say beads, but whatever.
I was going to say floral sprig to give it a little boost of color, to get it to pop, whether it's coming in through the bottom left or the top right, just a little bam. Color.
So I like that. I know people, when they think backdrops, they got to order 30. No. I know you have wrangled a deal with Core backdrops to get 20% off. But in the same vein, go to Walmart and go to the craft section and get yourself a piece of paper if you're just starting out here and you don't want to throw too much money at this.
The only reason why I suggest maybe investing in a backdrop is that food safety portion of it. Paper can leach butters and oils, and they could pass it on to your next set that you take on it. The A core is food safe, and that's probably what sets those apart. So if you're doing the paper route now, that's fine. Put it on your goals list. Like, I'm going to sell 3 sets this month so I can afford this backdrop, and it's going to last you a lifetime. There's no running back to Michael's to replace the paper. You're just going to have this backdrop, and it's going to serve you for years and years.
Great. And what is that discount code?
It is Sugar Cookie. No S at the end.
I really think you got that backwards.
No, I swear. I
Okay. It's all caps Sugar Cookie. I'll put the link to AE Core backdrops in the description of the podcast, but Corrie seems to really like them. I know she drenched them in chocolate this week, and it washed right off.
Couldn't believe it. Put it in my actual tub, turned on the water, wiped it down with a wet towel, and it's like I never poured chocolate on it.
Or your cat ran through said chocolate later.
Even my cat did run through that. It was a mess.
Okay, so we have backdrop. We have 3 prop essentials, the tea towel, the sprig of floral, and what was the third one?
Cutting board, but you wanted the baking rack.
I like the baking rack. But, okay, go on. What else would you recommend? You got 3 slots left.
Okay, natural light. It is free.
Okay, guys, you got to go buy a sun.
Free as the birds, kids. Just find natural light.
Explain to us noobs what is natural light.
Okay, natural light. The sun is casting down. I want to be indirectly related to that sun that is.
So we don't want sun directly. If you can feel the warmth of the sun, you're too close.
You want to back out. So that's why a big open window or a sliding glass door is a great option, because it actually blocks out that direct sun, and then you're left with the indirect, which makes no harsh shadows. It evenly lights the entire surface that you're trying to work with, and it makes it so much easier to post-process, whether you choose Lightroom, the Foodie app, wherever you go to.
I know that people purchase diffusers, which diffuse the light, but I saw I'll be honest, I was on TikTok and I saw this tip, but they got a sheer curtain and just hung it over that window just for their product photography, took it down when they're done, but it was nothing more than a $10 fix.
So easy breezy. So if you're like, oh, the sun's always bearing down, I live in the desert, Heather and her sheet in front of the window is a good diffuser, and that just diffuses the light so you don't have that direct sunlight hitting your products.
I know we have a few group members who are Alaskan contingencies, and they either have 23 hours of daylight or 23 hours of darkness, and God bless their souls.
God bless them. No clue what to do there.
Okay, so we got a backdrop, got to buy our props, got to buy a sun. What else do we not need?
Camera gear. If you are shooting with a phone that's 16 years old, it might be time for that upgrade.
I think it's just time to let the phone just
be the potato.
Rest.
Bury it back into the ground it came from.
Let him go. He's worked too hard.
But whether you're using a camera with a lens kit or if you're using your phone, knowing your camera gear is gonna be what sets you apart from your competition. It's going to make your products look amazing. It's going to, if you have the camera phone, you can get it. I did a post in the group. I made my camera look as close as I could to a $4,000 DSLR, and most people couldn't tell the difference.
Right. A lot of people with these new iPhones, I mean, it's pretty darn close to what you can get.
Technology is insane. And upgrading your phone to be just something a little bit newer can help you immensely when it comes to good photography.
Technology, they say it increases or it doubles every 2 years. So if your phone is around 6 years old, it may be something to consider in your budget. Regardless, though, if I could get everyone a pro tip, set the resolution on your camera to the highest before you take your product to photography.
Amen. Oh, that's a good tip.
Yeah, when I pull something in a Photoshop and it says you have 2 pixels to work with, it's really hard to fix.
Yeah, so the bigger the photo, the more we have to work with. When you start cropping it, you're not going to degrade the photo so much where it just looks like pixels thrown together.
Love that one. And the last thing you'd recommend, you have 1 spot left,
is an editing app. My go-to is Lightroom. Before you say, I can't afford it, Lightroom Mobile is free. You just don't get as many features as you do with the paid version, but it's absolutely free. A tinge bit of a learning curve, but isn't everything in life that's good worth learning?
So deep.
Yeah, deep with Corrie on them.
Now, I really like Adobe products. Corrie and I, in our day jobs, use Photoshop, Lightroom. Right now, we're using Audition to film this. We use Premiere Pro, and then sometimes that other one that's really complicated. I can't remember the name ever. But if you have a kid in college, can actually get a student discount on the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite, which is a monthly bill, but it is one of those ones where I'm going to highly recommend it.
Yeah, I will say I use the paid version for that Band-Aid tool. So say if a crumb, I just didn't see it when I was photographing, kid already ate all the brownies, that Band-Aid tool can remove that piece that's distracting to me, and I don't have to go make more brownies, reset up my scene, and anything like that.
And because we're always trying to give people an alternate option, you could probably accomplish this with 3 or 4 free apps. Just Lightroom puts everything in one. It even watermarks your photo, which I know everyone loves them a watermark.
True. Foodies app, that's what a lot of people use. So Foodies app, Lightroom, I just always suggest a post-processing software. Heather knows that I do not take a photo without running it through Lightroom. Absolutely. Heather has never seen a photo straight out of camera.
Right. So editing your photo does add that extra thing. And I know people are like, I don't have time. Marketing takes time.
Well, I'm going to scoot you on because that was supposed to be 5 minutes and that now is 11 minutes.
Great. Scooting right along. The business with baking. Corrie said, your ideal client isn't you. Would you mind explaining that?
Okay, Heather, I will. I see this in the group all the time, and I know you do too. When I post up a photo, someone is guaranteed to say, like, I don't like this, I don't like that. And whether it be beads or the prop placement or where I put a cookie on another cookie, it doesn't matter. And you know what? Those comments don't affect me. And do you know why?
Why?
Because I know my target audience and I shoot for them.
That is a great point. Most of us are actually not our target audience. The thing is, people who are baking cookies are probably not the same people who are going to turn around and buy them from somebody else, right?
Yeah. A lot of us started cookie decorating and baking because we saw some prices somewhere and said, shoot, I can do that for less. And here we are.
It isn't necessarily about you, and it never is, unfortunately for me. It's about your target audience. So that's why it's so important to know who your target audience is and gear all the content, the copy, and the marketing towards that specific person. And when I say person individually, what do I mean?
Well, when we teach classes, it's our actually highest margin of something that we offer here in our bakery, in our lowest time in. So it's actually a win-win. So who would you call our target audience? I'm going to flip this one on you because I know you know it inside and out. Who is that lady? I gave part of it away. Right. My bad. Who sits across from you, who's going to sit across from you on Saturday, our next class day. Tell me about her.
It is a female. She often has teen kids or kids recently left for college, and she's looking for something to do with her now newfound time. Typically, she's between 35 to maybe we're looking at the upper 50s tops. She either works a day job or she is recently retired. Again, looking for something to do with her time, with her hands, and she loves being outside of the house. So it's somebody who's typically on a Saturday looking around for something to do. And that is who we write every piece of our marketing material to.
And why? Because that is our target audience. That is the person who's willing to reach into their purse, pull out money, and take a class with us. I know that you probably could say, and I'm throwing this totally on Heather, like, Heather, what about everyone has a mouth? Everyone's my target audience.
Exactly. I think we've put on now, dare I say, 40 classes, and we've had about 5 men. So when I look at my marketing budget and my time budget, it is a waste of my marketing and time to focus on men. They just don't show up. It doesn't mean they can't show up, but it means my marketing message is written towards, again, that retired lady with older kids who's just looking for something to do, because that's where my time and my dollar are stretched the furthest.
Good job. Amen. Okay. I'll let you continue.
Great. I'm going to pitch this back one. I know Laura's running our Sugar Cookie Bookies group, and they ironically are talking about the ideal client avatar, which is, let me just read what she wrote. Your ICA, your ideal client avatar, is your dream customer. Those customers that light you up when they buy from you. They're those customers that appreciate what you do and what you offer. They do not balk at your prices because they understand why your prices are what they are, and they understand the work that is behind your products. She ends up with a quote, says, focus on the people you want to attract to your business and they will come. That's by Christine Joy. And she actually threw in together a PDF for you to fill out and come up with that client avatar, that one person your marketing speaks to.
And I want to just add this too. Sometimes I'll take a bunch of photos. Heather knows probably I take 40 photos each time I do a scene setup. And I will like a photo more than I like the other photos. And I'll say, Heather, which one do you like the most? And sometimes what I like isn't necessarily what Heather knows our clients like. And she'll tell me, she'll be like, I know you like that one, but this is the one that's probably going to get buns and seats on Saturday. So I have to, as a marketer and a business owner, take a step back and be like, okay, I may like that photo. I can post it to my personal Facebook page. I can post it to my personal Instagram, but that's not going to do the hard work I need this photo set to do. I'm going to choose the one that's probably geared more towards my target audience, and I'm going to use that one because it's going to work harder for me.
And it comes down to being intentional with your marketing and asking the question. The book that they're reading is Start With Why. And that's really what marketing comes down to. Why am I choosing this photo? Why is my copy written this way? Why am I posting it? And once you line those up to your goals, it makes it a ton easier. You don't feel like you're talking into a dark cave and hoping someone listens.
Amen. That's me every day, talking to a dark cave, hoping people listen.
Okay, we have actually 1 minute left. Is there anything else you'd like to throw in about the ideal client?
I think to have an open mind. So if someone posts something in the group and you're like, I don't like it, come from a place of, instead of I don't like it, think about who could their target audience be? How would your comment better fit their post instead of I don't? Say, hey, something constructive. So whether it be like, I would say the glare, or hey, is your target audience 12? Because this looks like
copy written to get a 12-year-old, which, hey, is your 12-year-old have money? I don't know. Maybe they do now. They all have iPhones. But that constructive criticism would be like, hey, if this is targeted to grandparents, maybe try using this word instead of the abbreviation.
Something like that.
Right. And come from a place of education. That is the point of this group, is really just to get out there and learn. And you learn by doing, and you do by tripping up, seeing what happened and reassessing and then fixing those.
I like to call that testing because it seems more,
I don't know. I really liked my long word verbiage.
I don't like tripping so much, but testing sounds like I didn't mess up.
Okay. That brings us to our next segment, voicemails, which was so funny because before yesterday at 4, we had one voicemail, and now we have too many. But I love having a backlog of things to reference. So this is actually a comment by Lindsay McCoy in the group. She said, can you talk about marketing budgets, print materials, business cards, digital ads, like Facebook, promotional giveaways, any insight on industry standards? I'm going to read some quotes because this is very business specific, right? So what my marketing budget may be won't be the same as a person, dare I say, in the county over or in the next house over. Mm-hmm. But the U.S. Small Business Administration recommends spending between 7 to 8% of gross, that means everything, revenue for marketing and advertising if you're doing less than $5 million a year, which I think is most people in this group. If you're not, if you're doing over $5 million, please reach out to us.
We would like to sponsor you for something.
We would like you to sponsor us after all expenses. So that means, so they have an average in business to consumer, which is B2C products. You're looking at 20% of your budget being allocated towards marketing, and in a service-based business, that would be 8.2%. So we kind of see that cookies are kind of a little bit of both. You guys do have a product, but you're also providing a service. I think it would lean harder to the product side. Mm-hmm. Business to consumer businesses generally spend more on marketing compared to business to business. Business to business is more of a handshake relationship type marketing. Mm-hmm. Business to consumer is what we focus on a lot in the group. Smaller companies spend more on marketing as a percentage of their total revenue than larger companies. So the breakdown, if I was going to say I'm going to spend 2% on marketing, I would be the SBA average guide of low in my marketing budget. If I was going to spend 8% of my gross revenue on marketing, I would be at a medium marketing budget. And if I was at 16%, I'd be in an aggressive marketing phase. So putting numbers with percentages, if I made $20,000 last year through my baking business and I was only going to spend 2%, which is on the low side, I'd be allocating only $200 to marketing. Which is
my prop fridge just cried a little bit.
If I was, let's say I made $45,000 last year in my baking business and I wanted to come in at the medium of 8%, I'd be looking at a marketing budget of $3,600, which to me sounds very healthy. Mm-hmm. And then if I was absolutely aggressive, hey, I'm going to make this work, and I made $45,000 last year and allocated 16% of that to my marketing budget, I'd be spending $7,200.
There's a lot you could do with both of that medium and that aggressive price point.
Right. And the thing is, it takes money to make money.
True. Heather loves that saying, people.
It takes money to make money. Buy that prop fridge. Just kidding. No, you can buy that prop fridge. So your marketing budget will be unique to your business and your business goals. If this is just a side hobby and you're looking to have a side hobby marketing budget, it's going to be a lot less aggressive than the, hey, I'm going to make this this business pay my rent.
Exactly.
You're going to have a bigger budget then. As far as a further breakdown, I know she asked like towards paper, towards this, towards what I'll spend in my marketing budget depends on my goals as well. If I'm going to be a farmer's market seller, I'm going to have a lot more fees involved than if I'm going to be a pop-up person who's going to have a lot more packaging cost. But a healthy marketing budget is a diversified one. Corrie, you want to explain what I mean by that?
Oh, you're just throwing this on me?
I'm running out of breath.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, you were on a roll. Healthy marketing budget is a diversified one. It means you're not putting your eggs in one basket. Facebook could delete your page tomorrow. Would you be up the creek without a paddle? No, because you invested in a website. You have so many streams where people could give you their money that's what's diversified. So if you need to run Facebook ads one day, if you need to do an email marketing campaign the next day, if you need to invest in your photography, there's so many avenues for a diversified budget that you're never just stuck. You're never stopped. Nothing's ever not moving forward.
Mm-hmm. So sometimes our clients will have them advertising on Nextdoor. We'll have them running a retargeting ad on Facebook. We'll also still be doing a print mailing campaign, which is, a little bit old school. And then we'll be doing an email marketing campaign. So you see that we have them across different platforms constantly sending the message.
I love that. Okay. What's the next voicemail that we have?
I'm going to play this and then I'm going to drop the actual audio into the podcast, but we're just going to be listening to it through our speakers.
Hi, this is Denise Kuiper calling. My question is, when I'm boosting a post on Facebook, what are the best options to reach more people? Should I choose my audience to be people who like your page and their friends, or people you choose through targeting by location, age, whatnot? Thanks, guys.
If I had to give you one tip to leave with today, it's to not boost posts, but instead head over to your ads manager and create an ad there. Why? Because you have so many more targeting options in there. This is literally how Heather and I fill our class seats and sell DIY kits exclusively. Within Ads Manager, I can choose to target people who have visited my website. I can send them straight to a form or a page on my website. I can create less work for my end user so they can give me their money faster. There's no pain of clicking. Within Ads Manager, I can also upload email addresses and exclude people who have purchased from me already and use my marketing dollars to target those who haven't yet reached into their wallet, making my ad dollars go farther. Heather and I are actually making a course that goes over everything and covers from creating an ads manager all the way to getting your ads published to checking the insights and see which one works for you. But if you're like, girl, I don't have that kind of time, I can only boost. If I had to say boost to your warmest audience. If that's people who have liked your page and their friends, that's who you're going to want to boost to. If you're trying to do hey, say you're a new business and you're just trying to get your name out there, you're going to only have a cold audience to work with. So you're going to want to run an ad to locals. Whether this goes back to the client avatar. Who is your client avatar? Are they a working mom with kids under the age of a certain age? That's who you're going to want to run your boosted post to.
Okay, guys, if that sounded like industry jargon to you, allow me to translate. She's talking about paid ads. This means there is a dollar amount that you're paying Facebook to send your ad to people. Within Facebook, there's two different types of ad categories. It's a boosted post where you boost a single post. So I post a picture of Corrie and her cat. I click the boost button and that post ends up in newsfeeds. The other side is using a specific targeted ad, which you create through an application called Ads Manager. It's a little bit more complicated, a little bit more big boy stuff. If you want to boost ads, I would say it's the shotgun effect versus the sniper rifle effect. Shotgun, hey, send it out there, spend my money, get some eyes on this. When we're talking about like a sniper rifle, send it to the specific person that I'm pretty sure will buy from me. Then that's more of an ads manager type thing. Does that make sense?
To me, it made perfect sense. Okay. I love that analogy.
Okay, and the last question was a text question, which turns out you can text us. However, the author did not leave their name, so author unknown. The question is, hi, I'm a big fan and I find the Facebook group very helpful. Why, thank you so much. But my question is, how do you decide and stick to a logo and a bakery name? Did I say logo? She did not type logo. I said it, logo and a bakery name.
Oh, I couldn't stop laughing.
Okay, thanks. I'll take this one. The key is consistency. So when we say consistency, it is bringing the same brand up each and every time. Essentially, every time you change your name, you're starting over. The logo, the rebranding, I kind of recommend that once every 3 years if you wanted a refresh, but you kind of want your brand name to stay the same. Some simple tips I have is KISS, keep it simple, stupid. We don't want to pigeonhole ourselves with our names unless that is your goal. In sugar cookie marketing, it is our goal to pigeonhole ourselves. We have our ideal client avatar and it's a sugar cookie baker. That's why we made our name so niche. But if you're doing cookies now and you're not sure if that will be a forever thing for you, then probably putting the word cookies in your name is not the best bet right now, unless it's your only offering for the foreseeable future. The fewer words, the better. When it comes to conversions, a name like Heather's Cakes is easier than Heather's Cakey Creations, a land of cakey cakes, right? That one's going to be a little bit hard to remember. Finally, my last tip is find a name with available social profiles. Website like namecheck.com can help you see if the handles are available on websites like Instagram. But you probably won't get all of them. What I'd recommend though is having each handle start the same. So if we have at Heather's Cakes on Facebook, I'd rather have it at Heather's Cakes on Instagram as well. If at Heather's Cakes on Instagram is taken, I'd rather do at Heather's Cakes VA, Virginia, rather than Cakes by Heather, because those aren't very similar. Make sense?
And ask us, what is sugar cookie marketing on Instagram there, Heather?
It is sugar cookie marketing _.
Someone is sitting literally on sugar cookie marketing. And Heather wanted to reach out and be like, what can we give you? I said, well, just put that little underscore under there and we'll just always know.
I offered him my firstborn nephew.
Hey!
So the number to call or text is 571-556-5644. You guys were absolutely awesome this week, and we have actually a backlog of texts and voicemails, which we'll cover again next week.
But don't let that stop you.
Don't let Corrie have to leave a voicemail. I hate when we have to play her voicemails.
And I'm ready and willing.
Okay, we are wrapping this up. Back to group stuff. We have a Facebook Live on Thursday.
Nope. Friday.
Oh, yeah, getting crazy. It is on Friday. It is different from what we're usually doing. Obviously, I can't even remember it myself. But it's Farmer's Market with Sarah Hughes, where she tells us everything we need to know, from what we need to buy to how we find the farmer's market, how we apply to it. And again, that is Friday, definitely not Thursday. Friday, March 19th at 12:30, definitely not 7, 12:30 p.m. in the group. The replay will be available if you cannot make it, so do not sweat it. Corrie, we are still doing the 3x3x3 challenge. I know you've been doing it hardcore.
I have. I really took to heart Heather's 3x3x3 challenge, kind of turned it into 28x28x28 the past few days. But I've seen so much growth, benefit, reached new accounts, gotten new followers. Common questions we have is it just commenting? Does liking count?
It does not. The concept is leaving 3 comments on 3 accounts that follow you, leaving 3 comments on 3 accounts that you follow, and leaving 3 comments on accounts that neither follow you nor you follow. And those ones are a wild card from people who are other bakers. I'd recommend keeping it local as well. People that frequent a restaurant near you, find that hashtag that really applies to your local area.
Perfect. Can you comment on older photos?
You can. There are some things that are older. We recommend not doing top posts, but going to most recent posts. Those posts are probably posted within the last, dare I say, seconds if it's a popular hashtag, but within a couple days if it's something that's more location based.
I agree. And does this work on Facebook?
Unfortunately, not right now. Facebook and hashtag just never really got together. So we're going to keep this one as an Instagram challenge. We're 12 days in. That means there's 18 days left. I know I stopped my reminder post in the group, but that's because it was just me and 3 other people. But the challenge still continues. I'll post the reminders on the weekends here on out until we finish this challenge.
Perfect. Can't wait to show off all my stats to the group.
I think Corrie's doing well with her 28x28x28. Okay, Corrie, we are closing the group off to new members for a short period of time.
How dare you?
Can you explain why we decided to do this?
The reason being is we do get a lot of people wanting to come into the group, and there's some, and I love noobs. I'm a noob most of the time. There's some repetitive posts. So if we can get the group we have now on the same page, get their businesses growing, get the marketing going for them, when we invite these new folks into the group, our old seasoned people can then help those new people. So everyone then turns into an admin that can help a new person get off the ground. Because if one person wins, we all win. So let's get this group going and growing. Just made that up.
I like it.
And then we will invite some new folks in after that. So if you are listening and you're not in the group currently and you just want to hold your spot, I guess.
Yeah, we actually have 240 open spots.
Yeah.
So, we're going to cap it off at 15,000. This isn't going to be forever, but it's just going to be a little quick recap, catch up.
Right. And if you want to move to the top of the list of who I approve, answer the questions. That's what I look for. If we have 200 people who have not answered the questions who are pending. So you want to go to the top of the list, answer the questions, and then I can let you in.
Okay. I've added a last part of this segment. We're going to call it Twinterest. And this is anything Corrie and I, one thing each that we saw, heard, learned, watched this week that we just want to pass along. And it can be whatever we decide, but let me go first. I started using a project management software.
Heather loves management things.
I am very forgetful. So if it's not written down or on a calendar, it's probably not going to happen. But the software is called Asana. It's actually free for one user. So if you're just one person who wants to get your life in order, you can create an account. It's by people who used to work for Google, so it is very comprehensive. It is very robust, but it is just a great application, free. I'll put the link to in the comments. And I encourage you, really, you're allowed to make multiple projects. So you could have personal to-dos, your bakery business to-dos, your day job to-dos, kids soccer game to-dos, things like that. And it has a lot of integration. So I actually have mine connected to Gmail, where if I get a task from a client, I can immediately add it to Asana from that email.
Oh, that's a nice integration. Mm-hmm. I'll think about getting it.
Oh, I cannot wait.
As far as me, I am looking at a new lens. Not that I need it, mostly because I want it. Because I have a bad influence in the group. She knows who she is. She's listening to this podcast right now. But she got a macro lens, which has me looking at a macro lens. And it is supposed to be crispity, crunchity on post. So think florals where you really want to get in there and see those details. This Canon EF 100mm 2.8 is going to be my baby, hopefully this weekend.
Sounds like an expensive name of a lens. I cannot wait to see the budget. Okay, guys, that wraps us up for this week. I hope this was educational, and I hope we talked slowly. I do not feel like we did. I'm sorry, Linda. I will try to honor you in another podcast.
Send it in an email. She'll put it in Asana and get to it when she gets to it.
If it's not in Asana, it does not exist. Okay, guys, thanks so much.